Good morning. Welcome to the Philadelphia Fair Housing Commission. My name is Ali DiMedeiros. I'm the attorney for the Fair Housing Commissioners. Also present from the Fair Housing Commission staff is Miss Rosemary Brannigan. She's our staff supervisor, acting as a case manager here today. Before the hearing, I am required to go over a few things with you. First, you're being recorded. We record all our hearings. By remaining on the line and participating in the hearing, you are consenting to be recorded. Our Zoom hearings have the same force and effect as if we were in person. The only difference is on Zoom, we do not have a court reporter. In the event either party wants to appeal a final order of this commission, you can reach out to me or the case manager, Brenda Madeira, and we'll provide you with a copy of the video recording. Please be mindful of what you're saying and doing because it is being recorded. Second, at 9 o'clock this morning, the commissioners and myself, the attorney, met in a private executive session to discuss the day's cases. We do that every hearing day with every case. Third, the parties had the opportunity to submit documents. I have the submitted documents saved on my computer and can share them with everyone on the screen. Please keep in mind that the commission generally only reviews the very basic documents in a case prior to a hearing. If you would like a document reviewed by the commission, please reference it by name, date, or description so that I can post it on the screen for everyone to look at the same time. Lastly, during the course of today's hearing, it might be necessary for the commissioners to speak privately to make decisions in this matter. If they need to do that, they'll invite you to join separate rooms divided by party called breakout rooms. A prompt will come on your screen at the appropriate moment asking you if you would like to join a breakout room. We will direct you to click join when you see that prompt. Once in the breakout room, please remain in that room. You will never end a hearing when you are in a separate room. Please make sure you're back in this main room and that a commissioner or staff member dismisses you before you log off or hang up. Thank you very much for listening. With that, I'm going to hand the case over to Miss Brannigan. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Fair
Good
Housing.
morning.
This is the matter of Rosa Colon versus Aracelis Yanguez. The docket number is 2024-09-18-18715. There is a municipal court matter scheduled on January 14th, 2025 at 8:45. All right, if you're going to give testimony today, would you please raise your right hand so I can swear you in? All right, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well, thank you. You can lower your hands. Starting with the tenant, would you please state your first and last name and spell each?
Rosa Colon, Rosa ROSA, Colon COLON.
Okay, and do you have someone with you who's going to be a witness today?
Yes, Kenneth Montanez,
Okay, would you spell and state your last name?
KENNETHMONTANEZ.
Okay, are you a tenant in the property, sir?
Yes,
Okay, and for the landlord, would you please state your first and last name?
Melida Dunn O'Neill. Melida MELIDA Dunn DUNN hyphen O'Neill ONEILL.
Okay, and you're the property manager?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right, during today's hearings, we have a few rules. First rule, don't speak over each other. Please don't speak over the commissioners. We ask that you just wait your turn and we will let you know when it's your turn to present evidence and when you can answer questions or ask questions. Okay. The second rule is please don't do he said this, she said that. Rather say, Ms. Melita said this or Rosa Colon said that. It keeps the record clear. So if you said he was saying this and she said that, it starts to make everything fuzzy. Second rule is please use a complete date. Don't say, oh, in November, say November 2024 or in January 2025. Keep the record clear by using a complete date. Commissioners today are Commissioner Brunson, Commissioner Butler, and Commissioner Baez and Commissioner Sang. Thank you.
Hi, good morning and welcome to the Fair Housing Commission. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
yes,
Great. So the process for today's hearing will be as follows. We will be obtaining testimony from the tenant, and then the landlord or the landlord's representative will have an opportunity to respond. Which one of Ms. Colon are you going to be the primary person
Yes.
testifying?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I can hear her. Commissioner Bias, can you hear her? She said yeah.
Yeah, I can hear her.
Cool.
Thank you. So this complaint was filed on September 18th, 2024. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and can you please state the property address that we're here to discuss?
1836 East Cornwall Street, Philadelphia, PA 19134.
And when did you move into this home?
The 29th of November, we got our lease for the 1st of December of 2023.
2023. And what is the monthly rent?
1,000.
And when you moved into the apartment, what was the upfront rent that you provided the landlord?
A $3,000 deposit.
And what did that represent?
First month, last month, and security.
Has any portion of the last month's rent been given back to you or applied to your rent?
No,
Not that we know
So
of.
to
Not-
your so to your knowledge, the landlord is still holding last month's rent and a security deposit?
Except we still in the hot property.
we're still in the property, so as of right now, I had no communication with the landlord or the manager since October 1st of 2023.
Okay, but my
I
answer
mean,
is
2024, I'm sorry.
right. So my question to you really is, has the landlord credited back or given back
No,
last month's rent? Okay, thank you. And when was the last time that rent was paid to the landlord?
in August of
August.
2024,
And what was the amount?
1,000.
And that rent was for what month exactly?
August of 24.
Okay, and then you stopped paying rent starting in September?
Yes,
Okay, and why was that?
because Melina had sent me a breach of contract. And when I contacted her to speak to her about it, she did not want to talk to me about it.
Okay, so before we get into the heart of that testimony, I understand that you filed this complaint alleging retaliation.
I don't
for asking
understand what
for
that
re-
is.
So in your complaint, you're stating that your landlord retaliated against you for you asking for repairs and withholding rent. But before we get into
Okay.
that, I have to continue to ask you some additional questions. Okay, so just bear with me, please. So are you withholding your rent at this time?
Yes, it's in a savings account.
Okay, so which months are you holding in an account?
We got September's, October, and November's. December and January I have in cash. I didn't deposit that yet.
Okay. So when you first moved into the into your home, did you receive a certificate of renter suitability?
No,
Have you received that document at any time since moving in?
no,
And have you, when you moved in, have you received a Let's Safe certificate?
no,
Have you received that document at any time since moving in?
no.
Okay, so as I stated earlier, you filed this complaint alleging retaliation. Can you please explain why you filed this complaint against your landlord?
Okay, in August of 24, my husband he had contacted the owner of the house, Aricelis Yangelis, and was letting her know about our bathroom. Since we were here since December of 2024, it was about 8 months to that about that time in August of 2024 that the bathroom was getting around the bathtub area and like the tile markings, like where the grout goes, it had black mold, like it was moldy. So my husband had contacted Araceli and Yangelis and sent her pictures and showed her how the bathroom was and told him, hey, look, just to keep you posted, this is what's going on with the bathroom. Because that was something that was a part of our lease also. We were supposed to upkeep, like keep them posted on how the property was going. Now, we dealt with, since we moved in December of 2023, we dealt with Araceli Yangelis and Mario. Mario was the handyman that we used to call if anything was wrong with the property, so that way he could come out, check it out, and then get in contact with the manager or the owner, and then they get it fixed however they do it.
Okay, so before we get too deep into this, for the time being, can you just please explain what were the repairs that you were asking your landlord?
Just to clean out the mold from the bathroom.
The
Okay,
mold
so
and
that
the-
happened
and the
around
vents.
August of
And the
2024.
vents.
That was in August. Yeah, that was August that we have reached out, and the landlord had told us to reach out to Mario. When we reached out to the handyman Mario so he can come out to inspect the bathroom, to check it out, to see what was going on, Mario told us he no longer works for them.
Okay, so
For Araceli or for Minelba,
okay,
which
so
is the
then what
property
did
manager.
you do then? What did you do after that?
We
Once you
told the owner, the
okay,
owner had contacted us back and told us to have Melida, which is the manager, property manager, come out to check the bathroom so they could send out the proper people to fix the bathroom.
okay, so then
The keys.
did anyone from the
She told
landlord
him to
go out?
get in contact with him about the keys, and she
Mr.
never did.
Montanez, when do you want to also testify? It seems like you have more of
Yes, because at the end of the day, I was the one getting in contact with the landlord and the person that used to come fix her property.
Mario. say the
Mario.
names.
His name was Mario.
okay. So ultimately, so my question at this time, I just want to make sure that we all understand exactly the
Mhm.
trajectory of exactly what happened. So once you understood that Mario no longer worked for property management / landlord, did anyone from the landlord, a representative, they ever come out to address your concerns regarding the
Yes,
repairs that you did in August? When did that occur?
we contacted. We contacted Melida and told her, I sent her a text message and I told her the landlord wants you to come by to check the bathroom because we called Mario and he no longer works for you guys no more. So she needs somebody to check the bathroom because we sent her pictures on things that had to get fixed.
Okay, so then did anyone come out?
She came out, Melida had came out with somebody else. I'm not sure his name.
When around what time? What was the time frame when this individual came
She
out?
came out August 13th to check the bathroom with that guy.
Okay. And then what happened then?
2 days later, on August 15th, I get a breach of contract letter stating that I breached my contract, that it was not that it was mold in the bathroom, it was a lack of cleanness.
Do
Then
you
I
have a copy of the letter that? Yes, we do
We
have a
do.
copy
I'm gonna
of the
put it
letter.
on.
I sent them all the
It should be on the
letters.
screen.
So Ms. Colon, just waiting for the screen to.
Mhm.
Not sure if you're receiving it. I haven't received it yet. Okay, now it's on the screen. So
Yeah.
this is the letter that you're referencing, August 15th,
Uh,
2024.
Yep.
Okay.
She said I violated 2 terms.
And the terms that are stated in this letter, term number 53, repairs in your lease state property says that any unsafe condition must be reported immediately to the landlord, and not doing so is considered a breach of the lease.
But we reported it because that's why we did report it. That's why she had to come out to check it. And then for number 2, it says in the last several months, the property has shown a dramatic decline. She never even inspected this property. I gave her the down payment November 29th. We switched the keys with the old tenant that was here. The old tenant gave me the keys, and then she came, gave us a lease, and we never heard from Melida again. Since December 1st of 2023. We never heard from that manager again. We only dealt with Mario, which was the handyman, and the owner, Araceli Jangalis. Then I heard from Melida again when I reached out to her in August of 2024 for her to come check out the bathroom. And then 2 days later, I get this breach of contract. So honestly, I'm sitting here confused on why we're even going through any of this when there was never a breach of contract.
Okay, aside from the mold in the bathroom, what other issues did you have in the property that you reported to the landlord that was not repaired?
The heating vent.
All the heating vents are not secured. They're just placed in front of the holes, in
With rust
front
and
of,
everything.
in front of the vents, like the holes where the heat comes out. They never been screwed on. They never were. They were just placed there.
Okay, and what other issues did you have?
To my knowledge, it was the bathroom and
the
the
mold, that's it. That's
the bathroom and the vents. That was it.
Has any of that been resolved or?
No, well, the bathroom, they came and she sent somebody out back in like in September. She sent in September of 2024. They sent the same guy that she came with in August 13th to check out the bathroom. She sent him back out to spray the mold down with a spray and then just recaulk over top. He did that and he left.
Man, you look at that bathroom, it's like it's never been done. Like they only putting stuff on top when we complain about certain things gotta get done in the house, we want it done because at the end of the day we got kids. And when we ask for certain things, they just come over. I take pictures of everything before and after. I got all that on my phone. I even got the messages, the text messages and everything back and forth from how many times I heard from them to I haven't heard from them at all. And they looking at all the messages because on my phone it shows when they read it and what they don't. But they don't want to answer
But
no
they're not
messages.
contacting us back.
They don't
This is
want
the first time
Okay,
I've even
okay,
talked to her or even had any type of contact. Is now for court.
okay. So I believe that we have, I don't know if any other commissioners have specific questions of the tenant before we move on to the landlord.
No
I just
questions.
want to clarify, so you don't have any issues with the bathroom anymore?
Well,
No, we still
they
do.
recalked it, but the boat is coming back out to recalk that he put up. You
Okay,
get what like it's starting to look the same way again.
The heater vents in the bathroom still haven't got
And the
dealt with.
vents have not been properly installed. They never sent nobody out to re-screw the vents back in. She stated in the breach of contract that we removed the vents. We never removed no vents.
okay,
And
got you. Thank you.
and they did came and check the house because we did called and well like
L&I.
L&I did came and checked. They took pictures of all the vents and everything because they came out to the house. We was calling to try to make since they was doing everything by court too. I started doing everything the proper way too. I started making phone calls of the stuff that they not doing. And and they did came out. They took pictures of the vents and everything, and they were taking pictures of the house before she left. So they did came out. They was checking that out.
So I don't know if they ever got a report from L&I. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But I know we did call because we weren't getting no.
So for the record, the L&I never cited the property. There are no code violations on this property.
Well, we're gonna have to call them back because at the end of the day,
Well,
that was her main issue because all the vents were out and she took
The
pictures
main-
of every
the-
single vent.
Okay, so
vents-
I'm sorry. I believe that we understand exactly what the tenant's position is at this time. You will have another opportunity to add any other piece of information that we've missed, but for the sake of time, we need now to move on to the landlord or the representative so that we can understand their side of this case, okay? So if there aren't any other questions for the tenants, we will move on to the landlord. Ms. Dunn O'Neill? You're speaking for the
Yes.
landlord? Okay.
Yes.
I would like to first ask you a couple of questions regarding the testimony that the tenants provided. They stated that they did not receive a certificate of renter suitability. What is your response to that statement?
They receive renter sustainability and partner housing, and a copy of the partner housing.
So when would they have,
They did not receive help lead.
they did not receive the lead safe certificate? Okay, but let's just move on one step at a
So we
time.
proved.
When you're stating that they received the certificate of renter suitability, when would that have happened?
When we signed contract,
That's not in the lease.
Okay, so tenants, I need you not to talk while the landlord is talking. Thank you.
So your testimony is that you gave it to them when they signed the lease?
yes, sir.
Is there a copy of the document when they first signed the lease?
A copy of the
Of the lead safe
rent,
certificate?
the rental sustainability certificate is, I sent it to Miss Monica.
So
So
I
we
have three and they're on, oh, go ahead, Commissioner.
Oh, no, go on.
I have three, they're on the screen. So the first one I have is from December 23rd, 2023 through February 21st, 2024. It was signed by, it appears the landlord on November 13th, 2024, which is outside of the the applicable date on this one. So then there's another one dated November 9th, 2024 through January 8th, 2025, signed by the landlord on November 13th, 2024. And then the most recent one is from January 5th, 2025 through March 6th, 2025, signed but not dated.
So your testimony is that at the signing of the lease, the tenant was provided with this document. Is there any proof that that occurred?
And I didn't get a signed one from them, but I gave them a signed one. I did not provide them lead because I didn't have it available.
Right, so we're not
But I
speaking
did,
of the lead right now. We're taking this one document at a time, and I just want to have a
Okay.
concrete answer as to whether or not their testimony is that they did not receive it. Your testimony is that you did give it to them. So I'm trying
yes,
to
sir.
parse through that answer at this time, okay? So let's just stick
Okay.
to the certificate of renter suitability only so that we do not confuse the documents.
Okay.
Okay, so your testimony is, when did you provide them with the certificate of renter suitability?
When we signed the lease,
And when was that?
November 29th.
And then, Ali, if we can go back to the one in 2023.
Yes, sorry. Wrong, 1 second.
Right,
this
so
is- yeah,
do you
go ahead.
understand that that doesn't quite add up? November 29th, and the document over here was pulled up on December the 23rd of 2023. So those 2 dates do not add up. They don't correspond.
When you said they don't correspond, I don't understand.
Do you see the date that's being highlighted? December 23rd, 2023? I just want to make sure that I'm understanding what you're saying, because this document is supposed to illustrate that this is what you provided your tenant or the tenants back in 2023. The dates are not corresponding. So unless you have another document, this would not be sufficient to show delivery. Okay?
I delivered the rental sustainability. I'm sure of that.
Okay, so we just need proof that that occurred, because right now the proof it does not correspond with what you're stating right now. And that's essentially because of the date that is actually on the document itself. December 23rd, 2023. Okay, so we can move on now to the certificate of lead safe. You stated that you have not provided them with that document?
No.
Okay. And then as far as the license to rent, I believe that we do have a license to rent for the property.
Yes, we have rental license, sir.
Okay, and it corresponds, okay. The one that we have before us is showing January 19th, 2024, that expires on February 28th, 2025. Okay. So now the testimony that we want to hear from you specifically is that the tenant is alleging retaliation for reporting. I'm sorry, before we get into the head, the tenant also made the statements that the landlord is still holding on to last month's rent and security deposit. Is that also your understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There haven't been any, we haven't have any contact with the tenant and we have to solve the matter before we return any payment. And the tenant haven't made any payments
Okay,
since
so
September.
on that topic, the tenant's testimony was that they last paid rent August of 2024. Is that your
Yes.
understanding as well?
Yes,
So they're withholding, or they haven't paid rent since September through the present.
yes, sir.
So do you understand exactly what the tenants are alleging? They're alleging that the landlord is retaliating against them for reporting repairs to the home. What is your What is your position on this topic?
Okay, the first point is that the tenant was supposed to contact me at every time, all the time, either me or Mr. Mario. They never contact me. The only time they says they never see me until August the 13th, which is not correct, because one day they stay in April, they was locked out of the house, and they contact Mario, and they could not get in touch with him, and they contact me, and I went and I delivered the key to them for them to open the door and get access to the house because they was locked out. I was supposed to charge them a fee of $75, which is in their contract, but I did not do it. I just gave them the key and for them to get access to the house. So when they say they never hear anything about me anymore, that's not correct. Okay? And August 13th, the landlord was in Philadelphia, and she told me they've been contacting her about stuff they want to be done in the house. They want Mr. Montanez requested that he wanted a faucet to be installed in the back of the house. And Aracelis told him she did not have no one available for it at the moment. He offered himself to do the work. He did the work and she paid. Okay. From that, they start requesting stuff that they wanted to do in the house. She told them they have to wait until the handyman is available. He says he can do the work, but she tell him no. She want her handyman to do the work. She have a contractor that does the work. So they start getting upset. And August 13th, she was in Philadelphia. She said, I need you to go to the property because I told them to contact you and they won't contact you. They continue contacting me.
Okay,
So I need you to.
ultimately, there was a letter sent out on August 15th. Can you please speak to that?
Okay, August 13th, when I went to the property was in a mess. And the old house was in a complete mess. The vents was removed, totally removed. He took the vents and put up in the closet and leave those old opens. He removed those vents and the house was in a complete mess. They had a pet in a aquarium is like a lizard, a big lizard, and the contract is specified there is no pets. Okay. There was also a dog that the kids, they took it to the back of the yard and was trying to hide it. And the contract specified no pets. And the house was in a complete mess. Everything was in a complete mess. The floor was full of boxes of pizza, crumbs, everything. So I report to the landlord and she says she don't want the contract to continue because if they starting like this now, she don't want to know what is going to be at the end. So I send the letter. She told me to get the letter sent to cure of notice because they breached the contract. I send the letter and they start sending texts. They start getting crazy. So I haven't spoke with them until today. I
So
just start the process.
Okay, so the tenants in their testimony, they stated that they requested certain things to be fixed in their unit. So I'm assuming that the purpose of the August 13th visit was to make that inspection.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I did the inspection. Then after that, we sent out an expert to check for mold. They did not give them access to the property. They don't give anyone access to the property to do anything. I have videos that I can provide that when I went a second time and August 27th, and Mr. Montanez gets so irate, I was fear of my safety. I just get out of the property. And I have videos of all of that. I have video of everything when Mr. Montanez was irate, telling me everything he feel like also tell me. and he want all what he want to be fixed in the property. The property have no violation, the property, and they move out, move in, and the person that was there was living for 3 years, she moved out. So the property was in moving conditions. They are requesting what they want, but not what is needed. There is nothing, the mold, we tried to get an expert to get in. We send the handyman, he took care of it. He says it's not mold, it's just lack of cleanness. He took care of it, he cleaned it, he's cooking. Mr. Montanez was not satisfied with that. Aracelis got a professional to go and check if it was mold, a test. They refused him, they did not give him access. They
Okay.
refused to give him access.
Okay, so you've answered all of my questions specifically. Is there anything that the other commissioners need to ask the property manager at this time?
No questions.
No questions.
Okay. Ms. Colonna or Mr. Montanez, is there any response that you would like to give on the topic of you not providing access to the property when they sent out their contractors to make the repairs that you requested?
You're muted.
I'm sorry, you're muted at this time. We can't hear you.
Right there.
All right. Yes, I would like to speak on that. Cause she did came to the house, but she wanted me to sign some papers saying that everything in the house is fine when it's not. And she like, oh no, you still gotta sign this. I'm not signing something saying telling me that the house is fine, that everything's fine. You saying everything's good, but you taking us to court. I'm not gonna sign no papers. I took pictures of the papers and I told her I'm not signing nothing.
Okay, so
She-
I understand your topic on that you
He's
not signing
talking-
the papers. Now the question is regarding allowing access and letting the contractors make repairs.
Okay,
Did that occur?
allowing access on
October
October 10th at 11:46. Cause I got all my text messages I send these people. They haven't sent, they don't reply to not one. Her or the landlord, Maryland or the landlord. They don't reply to not one text message.
So at
I
October
wrote
10th,
at 11:46. I wrote, hey, what happened? You said they was coming at 10 today, and we do work. No response back at all.
and no one never
No
came.
response back. I said, can you see?
Okay,
I can't see. And I wrote back. I can't see you reading them. I wrote. I can't see you reading my text messages. So why are you not answering? Okay, I see. You're
so
not going
Mr.
to
Montanez,
answer.
ultimately what I'm hearing from you is that you did provide access when
No, there
contractors
was
came out.
nobody came.
Nobody else came.
So
So
no
we
one came
reached
out.
out to her.
Okay.
We
So-
reached out to her and asked her, where's the person that was supposed to come from
And this
the
is-
Intex Quality Air Care? That was the professional place she sent out.
The only-
I even called them
Yep.
and
Okay.
they didn't have no record.
So we understand that argument. We don't need to go too deep into it at this time. We
Yep.
understand the
So
argument.
we
that you're
can't
making
give
at this
access to nobody that shows
Yeah,
up.
because
If
on
you don't show up,
because
how
on
do we get access?
October 1st.
Okay, I understand. We all understand exactly what you're saying at this time. Now, the only other question that I have is what is the status of the repairs that you requested currently?
Ain't nothing been done in this house ever since I kicked out the last time. That she's talking about that she was recording. Cause she was talking about the heat and vents and all that. How can you come and say the house was dirty one day and then you're gonna come and say
Okay, so then when was the last time that anyone came to your home to make any type of repairs?
That guy that came to fix out front of the house, the owner sent out a man to come out. I believe. When
cement the
did he
front of the
come out? He
house?
cemented the front of the house.
That was what?
We're in January now. I want to say, maybe October, November. Some guys came out and they recapped they covered the brick and they put cement, stucco.
Okay, but I'm asking
Anybody that
specifically
came to this house has
inside your
came in and
home.
fixed.
No, inside the home, nothing. Ain't nothing been done ever since.
Since he came and put that recaulked the mold that he sprayed it and he recaulked around the bathtub and around the sink, nobody has not come to do nothing in the bathroom or the vents.
Okay, so what is the status of the vents at this time?
The
They're
vents are
the
still the
same
same
way.
way. They come out.
They're just placed in front of
All
the
the
hole.
vents and them vents, they you see all the rust and all you see everything on that. Like
She
they
said
never changed them.
Melida
Okay.
said we took out a vent. The only
So,
vent that was taken out was the vent that's in our daughter's
Because
room
it's broken.
because it's by the door.
you guys
and
can't
it's
talk
broke.
over each other. It's impossible for us to have a record. So go ahead, Miss Cologne.
The
So
only vent that was Melida says that we took all the vents out in the property. All the vents are still placed. I'm looking at 3 of them. They're still placed in the first floor. Dining room and in the living room, dining room, there's 3 vents. They're still sitting against the hole. Nobody never took out no vents. The only vent that was taken out when she came was the one in our daughter's room because it's broken and it's right by her door for her to walk in and out.
So was
So
that the event when you initially make your request to make repair? Was
Mhm.
that the event that you were
We
discussing?
never requested for no vents to get fixed. She put on the breach of contract that we took the vents out. And that's why we breached our contract because we weren't supposed to take out anything from the property. So that's why the vents are in this scenario. The
Okay.
only thing we ever complained about was the bathroom, the mold that was growing around the tub and the towels. That's it. And now it's a mess because we requested the bathroom to get fixed. That's it.
Okay.
And the day that she came,
Ms. Colon, I don't believe we need any other testimony at this time.
okay.
So that was the opportunity to add in any other testimony that we needed. Ms. Dunn O'Neill, was there anything else that you wanted to add?
Can I please read a text that Mr. Montanez sent to me
What is the
when
date?
he sent it?
What is the date and
Um,
what is it supposed to show us?
September 2024, when we send the mole expert, and we have a letter from the mole expert stating that he wasn't going to, we asked him to go back a second time, and he says he was not going to do it because they will not give him access. He tell me, why is it you all doesn't,
That's some proof.
I'm sorry?
Uh, Please
mute, tenants. I muted them.
Why is it that you doesn't have thing that we need to, so that we need to get fixed, like the mole and everything we told? Have you need to call us and text because we need to talk? And if you don't call us or will not let no one in the house till we talk, or we cannot let no one work, no work is going to be done in the house. That is a text Mr. Montanez sent to me and to the landlord.
Okay, so we understand your argument on that front as well. If you can send us that text message, that would be appreciated if you want us to consider that.
Okay, and I can send you the letter from it was sent, I think I sent it to Miss Gonzalez, that when we send the specialist for the
thank you.
mole.
Thank you. I don't know, commissioners, are there any other questions that we need from either party?
No question.
Okay, so at this time, I believe that the commission has sufficient evidence to go into a breakout room and take this matter under consideration. So what we're going to be doing now is that we're going to be inviting both parties to go into a breakout room while we consider this matter.
Bear
So
with me.
please accept.
Yep. 1 second, please. Okay, you should have an invite. Please click join. All right.
So
So
it seems, I'm sorry, go on.
So the parties are back. Go ahead, Commissioner Baez.
Okay, so all parties are back. Can you both hear me? You can nod your head if you can hear me. Okay. So the Fair Housing Commission, after hearing the testimony and the evidence that was in this case, we're going to be issuing a final order. The order will state as follows. There is no evidence that a lead safe certificate has ever been delivered to the tenants. There's also no substantial evidence that at the inception of the lease, a certificate of renter suitability has been delivered to the tenant. Therefore, because of those two things, equally. The tenants do not have an obligation to, the landlord does not have the right to collect rent for the time being that they were not in compliance with not providing the tenants with a let's say certificate. In addition, they do not have the right to collect rent because of lack of delivery or evidence of delivery of a certificate of renter suitability. In addition, the landlord is still holding the last month's rent plus a security deposit. Pennsylvania law requires that the landlord, after the 1 year anniversary of a tenancy, that the last month's rent must be returned or credited to the tenants. Therefore, because the landlord is still holding last month's rent, that has to be given back to the tenants. All notices that the landlord filed against the tenant are invalid because they lacked a lead safe certificate. In addition, they lacked a certificate of renter suitability. The municipal court complaint that was filed is also invalid for not having a lead safe and not delivering it to the tenants, and also for not delivering a certificate of renter suitability. We're going to also make clear that the tenants have to comply anytime that the landlord requests access to make any inspection or repair the property, whether or not you are available. So long as the landlord provides with 24-hour notice, you must make the property available. Whether you're there or not, they have to go in, so long as they give proper notice of their intent to go in and make repairs or inspect the property. Not allowing them to do so will be in violation of this order and a violation of your lease as well. So that we are all clear, because the landlord did not deliver a lead safe certificate, nor have they shown that they've delivered a certificate of renter suitability. No rent is due and owing until the landlord complies with the delivering of a certificate of renter suitability and a lead safe certificate. Do both parties understand that? You may not agree with that, but I'm asking, do you understand what I'm stating?
Yes, sir, I understand. I have a question.
What is your question, ma'am?
So what we have to do further, deliver the certificate and go what else?
And the lead safe certificate, you have to obtain a lead safe certificate and also deliver it to the tenant. And then you also have to obtain a certificate of renter suitability and deliver that to your tenant. You can email it to them, mail it to them. You just have to give that to them. Once that is done, then the tenants have to start paying the rent.
Okay.
Okay? And all of this
Uh,
information will be in the order that the Fair Housing Commission was sent to both parties. It is a final order, and it is only appealable to the Court of Common Pleas.
Okay, can we appeal this to the court?
You may, that is your prerogative to do so. But as I stated,
Okay.
you're in violation of Philadelphia law, so.
Okay, once we deliver, the contract have to continue, or we can cancel, done with the contract with the tenant.
They trying to kick us out regardless. That's
But
what
we
they're trying.
cannot give you legal advice, because what you're asking is for legal advice at this time. Both parties are on
Okay,
a contract, so if you need guidance on your landlord-tenant relationship, you may want to seek legal advice from a lawyer. We cannot give you that advice.
no, the contract is up because the contract was until December the 1st, so we have to renew the contract with the, do
Again,
the
that's
fair
asking for
housing.
legal advice. It's up to the parties to
That's
do.
not legal advice, the fair
It is.
housing.
It is legal advice. The way that you're asking it, it would be legal advice.
Okay, no problem.
All right, with that then, if there are no other questions, all parties are free to leave. Thank you very much. You'll receive the order in
Thank you.
mail or via email. Have a
You
good day.
you're gonna send it via email?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Yeah, okay. I currently have 3 hearings for tomorrow, but the 11:15 looks like it's gonna get continued for settlement. I'll let you, whatever you get documents for are the ones that are going forward. Commissioner Butler, you're only available for the 9:15?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, everybody, I'll see you then. Thank you so much.
All right, bye. I'll be here for tomorrow.
Yep,
Okay,
me
thank
too. Thank you.
Okay. And I see, yep, okay, great.
We have
Thank-
all 3 hearings tomorrow?
It's right now, yes, but
Okay.
11:15 a.m. looks like it's gonna get continued for a settlement.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sure. All right, guys, I'll see you then.
Bye.